All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our December Lunch and Learn. I've got 12 o'clock on my phone right now, so I'm going to get us started. Today, we're going to be joined by Doris Green from NYSCRC to talk about their respite voucher program. I'm just going to do a couple of housekeeping things, and then I'll turn it over to Doris. So our lunch and learns, as you know, are the third Thursday of every month from 12 to 12:30. We invite in service providers from across the state that we feel that kinship and professionals and kinship families may have an interest in. Our next presenter will be January 15th, Center for Elder Law and Justice, Sarah Hedden, to discuss kinship caregivers and the family court process. That was meant to be scheduled for October, and we had to move it to January. So thank you, everybody, for your patience. We look forward to having Sarah join us. My name is Rae Glaser. If you don't know me, I am the director of the New York State Kinship Navigator program. We put these monthly lunch and learns on, and we also co-lead the New York State Kin Care Coalition for kinship partnership and policy work in New York State. The New York State Kinship Navigator program is information, referral, and education for kinship caregivers, prospective kinship caregivers, and professionals. I think everybody is very familiar with our program, but if you're not, I will drop our URL right in the chat so that you can reach out. We're available Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on our helpline in any language you could dream up. And our website has got information on resources for families all across New York State, over 70 cited legal fact sheets on things ranging from what financial assistance is available to families, how to apply for it, the different types of legal care arrangements, education, law, as well as different kinship supports all across the state. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Doris to explain a little bit about the Caregiver Respite Program. Thanks for joining us today, Doris.
Sure. Always happy to talk to our kinship families and those who support them. I am, as Rae said, Doris Green, the director of the New York State Caregiving and Respite Coalition. We have been around for 11 years, 12 years, something like that, providing education, services, advocacy for caregivers across the age and disability spectrum. I was a kinship caregiver myself, so I have a special soft spot in my heart for all those who do that special care for their grandchildren and other children in their lives. So a few years back, we developed a respite voucher program, and the bottom line is that it gives kinship caregivers cash or caregivers of persons with any long-term chronic condition. Some of you are caring for kids and adults. We get that. So it's cash for you to decide who and how you would like someone to care for your loved one while you get a break. That is the key. The whole point of the program is for people who are caring for others in their lives have an opportunity to take care of themselves. So it's really quite simple. And Rae, I did put it in the chat, but it looks like I can only
You know what? That's
give
okay.
it to you.
I will
So if you
drop it
could
in
pull
the
it
chat.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
One thing I did forget to mention, and this is me just getting ahead of myself with 1 week to go before Christmas. Um, this is going to be recorded live as a webinar, but everybody is disabled on their microphone. So if you have a question for Doris, feel free to drop it in the chat and we'll answer that in real time.
Okay, great.
Go right ahead. I'm going to put
So
it in for you.
perfect. So Ray's going to put in the chat the link to our website directly to the respite voucher page. So let me just give you the nuts and bolts of this program. It provides a $600 voucher, $900 if you have more than one child in your care. It is specifically for kinship caregivers who are not formally, what's the word I want? I lost
Like
my
in the
word,
child,
Rae.
like foster parents in the child welfare.
Foster care, thank
Okay.
you.
We got this
They are
together.
not formal. Lord, they are not formal foster care providers because there are supports through that program for caregivers that don't exist for those of us who just do it in the informal way. Take children into our homes, pay for their food and their lodging and their clothes and their activities and all the things that it takes to provide for a child. We know it can be overwhelming.
Mhm.
So this program allows you to choose a friend, a neighbor, as long as they don't live in the home with you. You can also pay for programs with this. And the way that works is we'll contract with, say, the YMCA, or we've paid for karate programs and all sorts of different things. We'll contract directly with that provider and pay them whatever the tuition is for the program. And the whole idea there, again, is that you, the caregiver, have an opportunity to drop your child off at that enrichment program and walk away and do something for yourself. Go to lunch with a friend, go to a doctor's appointment you've been putting off. Whatever it is that would enrich you and make you happy and give you some relief is what we are trying to get across. We've tried to make it as absolutely as simple as possible. So there's a link in the chat which takes you directly to the help paying for respite page on our website. And there you will get an explanation of what the vouchers are. All the documents are there that you would need to fill out. They're all in Spanish. And the name of the respite voucher coordinator is Rebecca, and her phone number is on that page. So if you have questions, you can call her. We also have an admin who helps with this program. We can send you a packet of information if you don't have a computer or a printer. We're trying to make it as easy as possible. What you have to do is provide a whoever we're paying has to provide a W-9. Now, we know that a lot of caregivers worry about any kind of cash influx messing with their benefits, SSI, SSD, Section 8, whatever it is that may be a thing. So we don't report income going out unless it's $600. So at $599, this wouldn't even go to the IRS. It wouldn't go to any government entity. So as long as you don't cross the $600 litmus test for the government, it wouldn't count against your benefits. And I think that's a really important point to make. The other is you get to choose your respite provider. It doesn't matter to us. They don't have to go through background checks. You don't have to meet any financial test. We don't care how much money you make. We don't ask you how much money you make. The only thing we care about is that you are a caregiver who needs a break. And the only thing we ask for is somebody on the application who can vouch for the fact that you are a caregiver and knows your situation. So it could be a kinship navigator, it could be a doctor, it could be a pastor. That doesn't matter to us either. We just have to have a way to verify that you are an informal caregiver caring for children currently. The paperwork is pretty simple. It wants to know who you are going to hire. The other piece is that we know $600 isn't a lot of money. It's meant to help you get through. We do sometimes award second vouchers depending on our financial situation. We are government funded, federally funded through the federally funded through the federal government. Okay. We're federally funded. We work with the New York State Office for Aging. So we don't know if we're going to have funding from one year to the next, but we've been around for, I'm going to say 12 years, so we're still keeping on trucking. So you get to choose how much you pay whoever it is you hire. So you could pay them $10 an hour, you could pay them $15 an hour. It all depends on the agreement that you strike with that particular person. Generally, an organization has a flat rate that they're going to charge you. We get that. Some of our caregivers have gone away for a week and used the $600 all at once. Some of the caregivers pay $10 an hour and make it last for a whole 60 hours of respite throughout the respite period, which is the grant. The respite grant that we give you is good for three months or 90 days. So when you apply for this grant, you should be thinking, who am I going to use and what and when am I going to use it for? So it's not a forever thing. And the reason that we do that is if people don't use their respite dollars, we need to put it back in the kitty for somebody else. So we have to have a way to control how much money is flowing through. And that's really it. It's pretty simple. We have gotten a ton of great feedback that caregivers are just thrilled and grateful to have the opportunity to think about and actually do the thing that will help them to take care of themselves. So you go to our website, you can, if you click on apply, it's going to come up with all the documents and you fill them out. If you need help filling them out, you call Rebecca directly. She is wonderful with our caregivers. She will answer your questions. So let me just talk about the timesheets. Timesheets are our way of collecting how many respite hours are being provided, and it is our way to know that we need to pay your respite provider. So there is a timesheet. You can turn them in monthly. You can turn them in weekly if you want to. We turn them around every week, so there's really not a delay in payment. It takes up to a couple of weeks tops to get the whole process through, and we ask you to fill out some data questions, and at the end we ask you to fill out a satisfaction survey, and that's really it. So,
Quick question.
is there anyone on the call? Oh, they can't speak to me,
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
So,
It's just me. There's a question that's coming in, actually two.
okay.
So the first one is, can this be a resource for guardians post-kin gap? So that would be caregivers that are receiving that kin gap subsidy. They've been kinship foster parents and they have exited the system to receive the kin gap payments.
So there's no extra dollars being paid to them through a government program.
So they are receiving that this is a little bit of a trickier one we may need to answer offline. They're receiving the similar amount of funding that they were as foster parents, but they formally exit the system. They still have a lot of the
Oh, I
benefits.
see. Yeah.
It's a different type of legal designation. So it's not legal guardianship, but they're not still technically foster parents.
Okay, and I think if I recall, kin gap is excluded.
I would have guessed the same simply because they
Yeah.
still have a lot of those supports and are receiving so much more than informal families. Um, but I wasn't sure. I wanted to put that question to
Yep.
you. And then the
Yep.
second one that came in is, how often can you apply for the grant?
So the grant is, and you can apply as often as you want. We give out one grant, and then if we have money at the end of a grant cycle, then then we take our waiting list. So if you get a grant and you want a second grant, you should get on the wait list. So if there are funds available at the end of the grant cycle that we need to get out the door, then we go down our wait list in order that they came in. So really once a year, sometimes twice.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions on the call?
So I see a question because I
Yep.
have my chat up. Are
Perfect.
there still $600 for non-kinship? So we cover all 62 counties, and our vouchers for non-kinship are $600. Yes. The only exception that we make is for kinship caregivers who have more than one child in their care.
And I just have a question. What's the turnaround time usually on those vouchers? So if I went and applied for one today, is there a standard turnaround?
It's pretty quick, actually. I would say they get turned around in a month, depending on as long as in a perfect world that every piece of information and all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed and that. But sometimes Rebecca has to go back and forth with the caregiver to get it all together. But she's really good about it.
Okay. Well, Doris, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate
My
that.
pleasure.
Okay, so I did see we addressed this one. There's still $600 for non-kinship for older adults caregivers too. And just to reiterate that, yes, that's correct. So if you're caring for an aging family member, you can use this as well, correct?
Yep, and I also want to say not all people who need caregivers are older adults. So we have
That's a good
cancer
point.
caregivers and Parkinson's caregivers and any long-term chronic condition, and it afflicts people who are younger than 60 on a daily basis. So
Thank you for
the
that.
key here is, are you a caregiver?
Yep. Okay, and then somebody else came in. Let me scroll just a little bit up. You mentioned if one or more child does not get reported to the IRS until past the $600 threshold, does the same apply for when there is more than one child? So the $899 would not get reported.
That would be great if the IRS recognized the same way we do that there should be a higher level for people who care for it. No, it's $600. That's the IRS rule.
Okay. All right. And do you have the flyers right online, Doris? I'm taking a look. Okay, I see it. The instructions, or somebody's asking for the flyers to be sent to them. I'm not sure if that's something that we can.
You can go to the link in the chat and you can download and print the application, or you can reach out to Rebecca and she will send you a packet.
Okay, I'm gonna put Rebecca's phone number right in the chat so
That
that
would be
she can take
great.
information.
Her email's there too.
All right. I think we're caught up. Does anybody else have any questions?
Oh, somebody wants a flyer. Kim Leonard. I know Kim. So, yeah, Kim, I'll send you a flyer.
Perfect. All
I'll
right. Yeah,
send it to
that's
you too, Ray, in case somebody else wants it.
excellent. Actually, what we can do, if it's okay with you, we routinely send out the recordings from these webinars to everybody that registered. We can send out the flyer as well if you send it to me.
You got it.
And then that'll cover Kim as well. We're gonna ask for maybe just a little bit more than a week to do it. Usually it's a week turnaround that we send it all out, but I want to be cognizant of everybody's bandwidth during the holidays.
Beautiful.
Excellent. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, I'm going to give everybody back 10 minutes of their day, which I appreciate today. So, thank you so much, Doris, for joining us. We appreciate it. This is such a great program, and I still feel like it's one of the state's best kept secrets, and we don't want it to be that way,
No.
because I know our kinship caregivers could absolutely use respite, and it's rarely provided, very much needed. So thank you for joining us. If there's additional questions, feel free to email me, and we'll get those taken care of. And then we will get the recording information and that flyer sent out to everybody by the end of next week.
Awesome. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.